Moss's. Kate Moss's lips. Kate and Jimmy's lips. Oh, I mean, oh, this was all he had ever dreamed of. Oh, bliss. He opened his eyes and... oh, shit. He was alone. Alone in the vast, cold, open, empty plains of Georgia. There, in front of him, was a huge billboard with one word written on it in 20-foot letters. It read, "Dead End." Oh, right, thought Jimmy. Dead End. Interesting. Never seen that before. So, this one stops here, does it? Right. So, Jimmy did what Jimmy does. Dipped his head, closed his eyes, focused, clenched, and completely disappeared. Again, instantaneously reappearing in Bangkok, in another cafe. A pleasant, sun-drenched, outdoor Vietnamese cafe.
I'm driving in the fog. It's foggy. Can barely see in front of me, although the camera seems to pick up everything. So I'm looking at the screen, unless I do that. Oop, that's the wrong button. See how foggy it is. So this is new. It's a motorcycle blog. Except I'm not on a motorbike. I'm in a car. Yeah. Woo! That's right. I drive more than one form of transport. So I've got my motorbike test on Friday, which is in 2 days from now. Although it won't be in 2 days from now when this gets onto YouTube. You know, can't see anything. And I'm hoping I pass. In the UK, the motorbike test is done in 2 parts. Well, 3 parts. There's a theory test, which I passed easily, and then there's 2 riding tests. The first one is off-road, and I'm assuming it's the same sort of thing as the one you do in America in most states, which is, what is it, safety foundation course or whatever it is, which is maneuvers and an emergency stop and stuff. And it's actually quite scary because you do it in a sort of playground type thing with some cones, and you have to get up to 56 kilometers an hour in what seems like a very small space. It's not really a small space, but when you're doing, well, that's the thing, it's a fairly big space, but you have to get up to 56 kilometer in about a third of it after coming around a corner. So you have to accelerate, you have to give it the beans, as they say. And then do your emergency stops and a swerve. And when I was waiting to do this particular test, the guy before me was doing his swerve at 56 kilometers an hour, or 30 miles an hour, however many kilometers, 52 kilometers an hour I think it is. And basically you have to go at that speed and then swerve between 2 cones. You go through a speed reader thing, and then there's the cone, and you have to swerve around it and then go back onto the line you were on before, which is between 2 other cones, and then put on the brakes and stop with your front wheel in a box. So it sounds easy enough, and it is easy enough as long as you're not nervous. So anyway, the guy before me, he gave it Hello. He gave it the beans, and he went into a swerve. Now, the way to do it is, you give it the beans, you go through the speed reader thing, and then you roll off the throttle so the engine breaks you down. You do it in second gear, so you slow down quite quickly. So that's the way most people do it. So anyway, he was giving it the beans. He went through the speed reader thing. He didn't stop giving it the beans. He got literally halfway through his swerve, so the bike was leaning because he was still accelerating for some stupid reason, and he grabs the front brake while he's leaning. Now, anyone who rides a bike will tell you that you don't brake with your front brake while the bike is not upright, especially hard, because what will happen is it will tip the bike over and you will go over the top of the handlebars, and that's exactly what he did. This is a learner rider at 30 miles an hour, probably faster than that because he didn't stop accelerating, went face first into the floor. And I'd never seen someone fall off a bike before in front of my eyes, and if he hadn't been wearing a helmet, he would have been dead. So yeah, that was fun to watch before I did my test. But I did mine, and I passed that bit with no problems. I did my U-turn like a pro. I did my emergency stop, and I locked the back wheel, and that's a fail in the UK, by the way. In America, you don't seem to care if you lock the back brake when you're doing an emergency stop, as long as you stop. No, but in the UK, it's not under proper control, so it's a fail. So I locked mine, but I realised it was locked, and I applied less pressure, and then went back on the brake. So because I noticed it was locked, and I kept the bike under control and corrected it, I am passed. I've got a minor. He said it was a riding error rather than anything else, so that was pretty cool. And I was meant to have my other bit of test already, which is the road section, which lasts about 45 minutes, but they cancelled it because my examiner had swine flu. And I did try to say I didn't care because I wouldn't be in his helmet, so he could have as much swine flu as he wanted. But no, he had swine flu, therefore I couldn't do my test. So yeah, I've got a bike lined up for when I pass. All I've got to do is get through the test. I'm hoping I don't get too nervous, because nerves do funny things. So there we go. That's an update for a motorcycle vlog while driving in my car. Hope that was good for you. And I know the fog doesn't show up, but I can't actually see the end of the headlights, but in the camera screen you can see it fine. That's fucking weird. Anyway, goodbye, and God bless.